Namaste. Welcome to practice. Right now we are going to be learning two of my favorite poses that I love to put in my classes. Number one is Bird of Paradise, and number two is Standing Compass, otherwise known as Sundial pose. So these are pretty big hip openers. If you came here because you saw a little link in one of my classes, then you should be warmed up enough to just go into it. If you haven't done anything else to move your body and warm up today, then I would recommend doing a little bit to open up the hips first. I'll put some options for you. So you could do that first if you want. It's also possible that your hips are open enough and you just want to learn how to do the pose more effectively. Yeah. All right. So there are several ways, right, to get into it, but we're just going to do really basically kind of the easiest thing first, right? So I'll turn around so you can see the way that the bind is. We're going to start with Bird of Paradise. So we're going to start crouched, and then we have a bind that we're taking over here. So we're taking our left hand. So we're going to be standing on the right foot right now. So we're going to take our left hand, we're going to put it underneath the left thigh, and then we're going to take the right hand and we're going to bring it behind, and then we're going to grab hold of the right hand or of the right wrist with our left hand. And so then we're going to shift the weight so that we're standing on the right foot and so that we can be lifting up the left if we want to. Right, so most of the weight is on the right foot, and then we start to stand. And when we get to about like not quite a straight leg, I would recommend starting to lift the left leg when your right leg is still a little bit bent. And so then you kind of just have to go for it, right? So you use this momentum of starting to straighten the leg and then start to lift. And then we come up to here. And if you can come up to here, then you are good, right? So then it's all about balance from here. So it's just straightening the left leg and then coming into the pose. And so the bind helps us to be opening this hip more, right? So like if we are maybe in just like a standing foot to hand, then it can be harder to make sure that we're keeping this hip open, right? So then when we have the bind, it really helps us to kind of pull it out and back. Yeah? Okay, so let's try on the left side. So I feel like a broken record. I'm healing from an ankle injury on my left side, so it's not the easiest for me to stand yet. However, as I was healing from the injury, it really got me thinking more about how I do this pose, how I balance here. And so if you're having trouble balancing, then I recommend really pushing through the floor, like imagining that the ball of your foot has roots and that those roots are like going all the way into the floor and they're going into the earth and they're grounding themselves into the earth. So really, really push specifically with the ball of your foot. So like this part here, really, really push hard and it will help balance, I swear. So I'm gonna face this way this time. So we'll be on the left foot, right? So we take our right hand and we bring it underneath the right thigh, and then we're grabbing hold of the left wrist with our right hand here. And then we start to stand, and then when we get almost a straight leg is when I recommend lifting the right leg off. Yeah? So here we go. So we start to stand, boop, and then we go. And you kind of like just commit to it and go for it, right? And so then here I pull the shoulders back when you get to the bent leg to help to open up the hip, So then when you straighten the leg, then your hip is nice and open. Yeah? Beautiful. All right, let's move into our standing compass and or sundial. I love to go directly from bird of paradise to the sundial. So we can try that. I think it's super fun. Yeah, I'll face you. Okay, so let's stand on the right leg again. So we're giving ourselves a little break back and forth. I did a 2-hour practice before this, which is why I'm super sweaty. And I was like, I better do this now because my body's going to be super tired later. All right, so let's take the left hand and bring it underneath the left thigh, and we take the right hand, we bring it behind us, we grab a hold of the right wrist really tight with the left hand, and then we start to stand. And so you can use your breath here. So I would normally like start inhaling and do it all with an inhale, right? So when we get to here, so you can try it that way. Okay, so let's exhale and inhale. And then you can exhale here. Woo! And let's go ahead and straighten the leg. And so now let's reach the right hand. So that you can use this left hand, right, to be holding the leg up as you then use the right hand and go ahead and grab a hold of the left foot. And so really try and pull the shoulder, the right shoulder back here, and use that to pull the left leg back. And then we can go ahead and straighten out our left hand. So we can have it straight this way. We can have it up in Gyan Mudra. We can look up. Woo! A little tiring, huh? All right, let's try it on the other side. Yeah, so my left side, I just got this back in my body like last week after the ankle injury, so we'll see how it goes. As I'm trying to teach this, I actually taught this entire thing like over a year ago, and then I accidentally trashed the clips, so now I have to do it again. All right. So now it's going to be standing on the left foot. Okay. So we take the right arm, we put it underneath, we grab a hold of the left wrist with the right hand, and so a way to remember that. The wrapper is the grabber, right? So if it's just going behind the back, then that's the one that's getting grabbed. It's the one that's wrapping. That's the one that's doing the grabbing. Yeah? All right, so wrapper is the grabber. And then we're going to exhale and inhale, come up. Exhale. And inhale, straighten the leg. Pushing, pushing, pushing through the floor, grounding that foot as hard as you can, pulling back on the shoulders, using the right arm to hold the right leg as you take the left hand and reach for the right foot, and then extend that right arm out. Beautiful. Okay. And so then a couple sequencing things. So one of the ways I like to get into it is from, and if you're taking my classes, then we're probably going to do this. So I like to go from a bound side angle, and then maybe we go into a bound half moon here. And then we bring the left foot down, and then we actually are going to be, if we do it that way, then we are standing on the straight leg, so that's a little bit harder, but we can have the momentum, right? So we can take this momentum from our half moon, and then bam, momentum, let's go, woo! And then we pull, and then we straighten the leg. And then we can go ahead and grab, and then straighten the arm. Beautiful. Let's try that on the other side. This is the easier one because now we get to be standing on the right. So it's harder to get there because I'm standing on the left this way, but all right, so let's take our bound side angle, and then let's move to a bound half moon, and then step, and then woo, here we go, up, up, up. And then straighten, and take the right hand, grab a hold of the left foot, and straighten the left arm. Beautiful. Ah. Wow. My body's like, I thought we were done with practice for today. All right, that's that. I hope you have fun with it, play around with it. It's really, it's tough to balance when there's all this different stuff going on, right? And so, like I was saying before, just really, really focusing the energy on grounding down as you're standing up is one of the most helpful tips that I can give you. Yeah? Okay. Thank you for being here, for allowing me to guide you. Love and namaste.